Good morning, everybody. Hello. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the streams. I hope you all had a good day off yesterday. What I mean by that is a day off from watching my content live, because I was not here. It was my day off from streaming, but I'm back for 6 more consecutive streaming days. I hope you guys are excited for that. So first of all, today is Wednesday, the 19th of August, 2020. We have a very fun and very big variety of stuff coming up this week on my streams, which I hope you guys are excited for. We're going to talk about that in just a moment here. Some good stuff today on stream for sure that I'm excited for as well. We got all kinds of happenings going on. So, good stuff all around, right, everybody? Right, everybody? So, first of all, before people start freaking out, as you will notice, we lost 100 subscriptions in the day off. It's to be expected, okay? If you guys remember, it was about 1 month ago right now, roughly, where Ghost of Tsushima came out. And when Ghost of Tsushima first came out, there were a lot of subs and a lot of gifted subs, to be quite honest. And because that happened, now they've all expired. So FYI, you may have noticed if you had a subscription that was gifted that it's expired over the last day. And, if you extend it, awesome. If not, I hope you enjoyed that gifted sub. But this was to be expected. I kind of knew this was happening, which is actually why I'm very happy that just a couple days ago, we actually did hit the subscriber goal for August, and we are doing the marathon event coming up, which we'll talk about in just a few moments here. That's very good, because I knew that this drop in subs was coming, and I was nervous that this was going to affect stuff, but no, we hit the goal already, which is great, okay? So, no panic here, guys, at all. No, not a big deal if, if we lost 100 subs, no big deal. But I would like to say, FYI, you might want to take a look. If you lost your sub, maybe you'd like to continue it. Maybe you really enjoyed the sub that you had over the last month, including access to over 40 emotes, including having a cool chat crown badge to show that you're a supporter. And, of course, you don't have to watch advertisements when I take ad breaks, okay? It's good stuff. So, good stuff there, guys. Excuse me. In regards to the marathon, I have an update. Let's talk about that first before we get to the schedule and current events and stuff. So in regards to the marathon event coming up, you guys have now been voting for about a half of a week on what kind of a marathon you would like to see, okay? And the choices are either an Indies marathon, a classic Mario marathon, or rage-inducing games. Well, I took a look, and I'd say maybe about 70, 80 people voted. So thank you so far to those who did. The voting is very, very close. In fact, it's the whole thing right now is being determined by a measly 3 votes. 3! That's like nothing, okay? Right now, it's neck and neck between the Indies Marathon and the Rage-Inducing Marathon. The Rage-Inducing Marathon is leading by 3 votes, okay? But at any moment, someone could vote and flip that on its head. So, please consider voting if you have not. That voting will be continuing into this weekend. And chances are, over the course of this weekend, I will solidify the votes, okay? And then we will decide what will be our marathon. And by the way, just like usual, yes, I will take a look and see if any bot accounts or cloned IP addresses voted. And if that happened, those votes will be negated. However, I'm hoping that didn't happen last time around when we did a poll. That didn't happen at all, which was great. I was very pleased that no one tried to basically cheat the system. But I'll have to give it a look just in case. Okay? So, a few more days for you to vote. Type !marathon into the stream chat, or every 20 minutes or so the link will just post itself up. Please vote. And then over the course of this coming weekend, I will be announcing the winner. And then, depending on what wins, you guys may have the opportunity to start nominating games. Whether it's rage-inducing games or indie games for this upcoming marathon in September. Okay, guys? Good stuff. Now, let's talk about what's coming up this week, because this week is a huge variety of stuff. This week's schedule is going to be a lot different than usual, because I shifted a few things around per your requests. All right? So here's the deal. Today, we continue on with Nier Automata, the B storyline run, as you play as a 9S. Now, if you guys haven't noticed, It's a little bit different. The combat itself is very different when you're using the hacking, and it's a more simplified melee combat than it definitely was with 2B. We haven't seen too much in the realm of different plotline yet, but apparently we are very, very quickly approaching the part of the game where that does happen, because apparently, remember, there's a part where 9S basically gets hurt and kind of kidnapped by Adam and Eve, and apparently that's where the plotline diverges hugely. And I was actually being told and teased by a few people who obviously have played this game before that there is a lot of stuff coming up that's going to be really eye-opening when it comes to the plot. It'll be very interesting. And hey, I waited 3.5 years to finally see this, so that's good. Now, will we get to that today? I don't know. We're at the part of the game where basically the game has opened up hugely for side content, okay? So I've been enjoying doing a lot of the side content, and I pretty much avoided most of the story. I think I did 1 or 2 major story missions last time around. So, we'll see what happens today. Maybe I'll just focus in on more side content, all right? Or maybe we'll do a mix, or maybe we'll do plot. I don't know what we're going to do today, okay? But we're continuing with the B-side run. Definitely not going to beat it today. Tonight, it's more Fall Guys. That's right. You guys have really enjoyed me playing the elimination style challenge game, Fall Guys, and you want more. You actually have requested that I play a lot more. So, tonight, the late stream is Fall Guys. I hope you guys will join me for this, since you've requested it so strongly, over the last week. You said you want more, so I'm giving you what you want, okay? Now, tomorrow, we're doing things very differently. Tomorrow, all right, we are going to be doing Paper Mario, the Origami King, as the main gameplay stream. And I know a lot of people will say, oh, I don't care about that game. It's a night stream or whatever. We're doing this for a very good reason. All right. The first reason is because I need to get further into this game at this point. I've been playing this game only like 2 to 4 hours a week for the last almost month. And at this point, I'd say we're probably about halfway into it. The game has 5 major stages and then the finale stage. And we're in the midst of World 3 of 5 and then the finale. So you see what I mean? Like, we're probably about halfway through it. I need to make major progress. I need to. I can't have this game be a lingering game all throughout the month of September and everything, and then we never finish it. Plus, I'll be honest, I like the game, and I don't feel like we're playing it enough. Like, I'm actually, I want to play more, and, I'm not doing it. I'm not playing it. So, we're doing it as the main gameplay stream tomorrow. Number one, because we need to make more progress in the game. And doing a 3 to 4 hour gameplay stream, what I'm hoping is we'll finish up World 3 and get into World 4. Okay? Now, in addition, there's another really good reason why we're doing it. Because by playing it as a main gameplay stream, that's going to free up some night streams this week where we're going to be doing Fall Guys. Because you guys want more Fall Guys. By playing Mario as a daytime stream, we free up time for Fall Guys. You see what I mean? So it works out. It kind of works hand in hand. We get progress, and I get to play another game that you guys want to see. Fair enough? So tomorrow it's Paper Mario on the main stream and the continuation of Fire Emblem on the late stream. Okay? Fire Emblem, we're in the second half of the game. In my opinion, the plot's pretty interesting. And we'll be continuing on with that month's activities and probably doing some combat and the like tomorrow night. Excuse me. On Friday, we go back to Nier Automata B-side run. And at that point, I don't know if we'll be nearing the end of the game or not. It really depends on how much side content I decide to do. But that'll be the main stream. And then Friday night, my weekly throwback Street Fighter session, as always. Old school Street Fighter fun on late night Fridays. Saturday is a special event, ladies and gentlemen, as long as we continue to hit the tips goal on every stream. And the Vest Streak continues today, tomorrow, and Friday. Then officially Saturday will be the 250 Vest Streak celebration, also known as Vestival 4.0. There you go. I can't wait. Vestival awaits. So, what does that mean? It means that we're celebrating 250 straight streams of you guys being super duper supportive with a few special festivities, including some Q&A, including a live DSP Tries It, and I have a couple candidates of things I'm considering for this live DSP Tries It. Okay. Although, I may have to mix it up. And here's why. Because we've been looking at these various items that I could do for DSP Tries It. Well, guess what? I'm almost positive that this week they may have gotten rid of some of them. So I need to look into this, actually. And I need to see if they're still doing these certain items that I was considering. We may have to totally look for something different to do for DSP Tries It. So I need your suggestions, guys. I do. Please, between now and Saturday, take a look around. Okay. Let me know what looks like, what you would like to do for DSP Tries It on Saturday. If you have any new suggestions or anything, I'd be very happy to to be open to those suggestions, because I don't know what exactly is available. And in fact, right now I'm trying to look it up and I can't even figure it out. Look at this. What the fuck? Yeah, like I had a few ideas, but it looks like they got rid of some of these ideas. In fact, the two major ideas that I was considering were the grilled cheese burrito at Taco Bell and tiny tacos at Jack in the Box, and they've both ended. They've both discontinued, and they're not doing them anymore. Yeah, I'm looking right now, and yeah, they're gone. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, it looks like they do still have the tiny tacos, actually. At least on the menu for Jack in the Box, it looks like they still have the tiny tacos. They took them off the featured area. But apparently they do still have those tiny tacos. They don't have the grilled cheese burrito at Taco Bell anymore. It's gone. So I can't do that. Okay. Oh, here we go. Eternal Late Bomb says Wendy's has a barbecue spicy chicken sandwich. It's loaded and kicks hard. Okay. Lies vs. Soul says that Starbucks has a new refresher that has kiwi in it, and he says it's bad because he doesn't, maybe he just doesn't like the taste of kiwi. I'm going to be honest with you here, Lies vs. Soul. I'm not doing that. Here's why. The last 2 times now I've done drinks on DSP Tries It, they've been huge flops. First, it was that stupid s'mores frappuccino a few months ago, and then it was that stupid frosty chino last month. They were both terrible DSP Tries It. The drinks were, they didn't even taste like what they said they were supposed to be. And they just weren't very good episodes, all right? So that's not going to happen. But, so let me know. So, okay, so there's a new sandwich at Wendy's. I have to look into that. They do still have the tiny tacos at Jack in the Box, okay? But the grilled cheese burrito is out. They don't have it anymore. So we'll see what happens. Please, guys, in the next few days, if you have any further suggestions for the DSP Tries It for Saturday, please let me know, okay? But in addition to the DSP Tries It, all right, there will be a reveal on that stream as well. And we're going to play some Fall Guys together. All right? And when I mean that, I mean you're going to watch me play Fall Guys. I'm not going to do the party system and everything, as I've already explained a million times. Why not? I got to protect the privacy of my fans. Okay? So, sorry, Hobo X, there's no Arby's around here anymore. He says, what about an Arby's beer batter fish sandwich? That does sound good, but they don't exist around here anymore. The one that was right here near me went out of business for violating the health code. Apparently, the health inspector about a year ago came by and did a surprise inspection per, I guess, guests reporting that they had saw health code violations. And the health code violations at the Arby's were so egregious that they were ordered to permanently close. Wow. Can you imagine what was going on in there? That's pretty crazy. So anyway, guys, yeah, please give me your suggestions for Saturday's DSP Tries It. It'll be a fun vest celebration, and I'm looking forward to that very much on Saturday. Okay? Saturday night, it is the Ghost of Tsushima epilogue stream, also known as the Platinum Run. We're going to be doing 2 hours of Ghost of Tsushima on Saturday night, and what it's going to be is me attempting to finish up the things I did not do during my actual story-based run, meaning the remaining fox dens, any kind of collectible items like hats or swords. I believe there's 4 more Mongol bases to take over in the whole game. And I also have to find areas to bow to because I think I bowed to maybe like 5 of them during the campaign, but there is a trophy to get to bow to 10 of them. And basically trying to platinum the game. Okay? So, good stuff. And I hope that you guys will join me on Saturday night. Okay? Good stuff. Sunday, we'll continue on with Nier Automata again. And I don't. At that point, you would think maybe we will be finishing up the B-side run, unless there really is so much side content that is taking up multiple streams here. We'll see. But I'll maybe be even starting my C run, which is the third and final major campaign of the game. Okay. Sunday night will be Paper Mario. Okay, Paper Mario. So that means there's going to be almost 6 hours of Paper Mario gameplay this week, which is good. Like I said, we need to make progress, so I'm looking forward to that. And then on Monday, it's going to be something new. What will it be? I don't know. I don't know yet. I honestly don't know what we're doing yet on Monday. Okay, we have a few options to consider. The first option is that I go with a few smaller indie-style titles that are going to be coming out and or games that are just basically aren't major releases. So, for example, there's a Samurai Jack game that comes out over the weekend. Maybe I could check that out on Monday. There's going to be a Battletoads game coming out shortly under Game Pass. Maybe I could check that out. You see, we could basically do a small variety of games between now and the end of the month to kind of balance out my Nier Automata streams, okay? Or, the other option is to play Batman Arkham City Remastered, a game that came in 3rd place in the Viewer's Choice polls, a game that I feel is the best game of all the Batman Arkham games. And it would probably be a good time to do it, simply because I haven't played a Batman game in over 5 years, and I'm craving like that kind of gameplay. I think it would be a good time for it. Also, and we're going to talk about this in a moment, there's some Batman news supposedly coming this week. And if the Batman news comes out as everyone's expecting, all right, it probably would be a pretty appropriate time to play a Batman game, because everyone's going to be getting up hyped for Batman, okay? So, we'll see what happens. It's going to be one of the two. It's not going to be both. I cannot commit to doing both because I don't know how much time we're going to have. It really depends on how long it takes to beat Nier Automata. So I don't want to guarantee anything here. But we're going to see, between Nier Automata and this other stuff, how much time I have. Keep in mind, the next major slew of new releases actually comes out in early September. It's Avengers, as well as the Tony Hawk Collection coming out September 4th. So basically, I've got between now and then to kind of work on all this stuff that I'm talking about. And then once that new stuff hits, that's what we're going to be focusing on. So, I got about 2 weeks, roughly, give or take, probably a few extra days in there. But yeah, roughly 2 weeks to work on all this stuff. Okay? So, we'll see what happens over the next few days, over the weekend. But I'm debating, and something new is coming on Monday. Something new. Okay? And then Monday night, it's going to be more Fall Guys to end the week. We're actually going to play Fall Guys as the last stream this week. So as you see, guys, it's going to be 6 hours of Paper Mario this week. There's not going to be much Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem is actually kind of taking a back seat this week so that we can focus in on Fall Guys and Paper Mario. So for those who love Fire Emblem, sorry, this week we had to shift the schedule around a little bit. But that's what we're going with this coming week. Fair enough? Okay. All right, so that's the week. What a variety of stuff, right? I mean, that's a huge variety of stuff in 6 straight days. So I hope you guys will tune into the streams. A little bit of something for everyone. Every kind of game is being played. So certainly I hope that you will join me for the fun and the festivities this week. Okay? Okay. Outside of that, there's really not much else to talk about. Looking at current events and everything, there really hasn't been that much in the realm of gaming going on. Like I said, the big teaser story right now is basically that there's going to be a new Batman game. Yesterday, I guess, there was some big teaser put on the internet that coming this weekend, there's going to be a huge announcement regarding a new Batman game coming out. And that's about it. The only other thing is there's another Soulsborne style game that came out that, of course, everyone's asking me to play. And within 2 weeks, no one will ever talk about this game ever again. Just like every other Soulsborne clone that's come out, including Remnant and the 5 others that came out last year, It's another Soulsborne clone I'm not interested in. I keep telling you guys this. I'm like, listen, if From Software comes out with Dark Souls, with Bloodborne, with Sekiro, or with another game that plays just like that, I'm all over it. I love the From Software stuff. They're the name brand when it comes to it. But when you're telling me that brand X, brand Y, brand Z is coming out with another game that plays like Dark Souls, I'm not really interested in it. I just played Neo 2 a few months back. That was a good game. In my opinion, it could have been better. I think it stayed a little bit way too close to the formula of Neo 1. But it was still a good game. But I'm not going to go back to this formula and just play these games just because it's a difficult game and plays like Dark Souls. Like, there's no point. I've seen footage of Mortal Shell. I have zero desire to play it. Zero. It's just another fucking Soulsborne game. And I'm tired of that formula. Like, now, what happened is, I'll tell you exactly what happened, okay? Here's what happened. Dark Souls started off unlikely as Demon Souls. People liked it. Then it jumped into its own franchise, Dark Souls, and it got super popular. So then From Software said, let's do Bloodborne. Bloodborne got super popular. And what ended up happening was there was a group of content creators on the internet who focused in on these very hyper difficult games. Whether it was that they were speed running, they were finding unique ways to run through the game with challenges or using different builds, and they got a big following doing this on Twitch and on YouTube. And basically what it did is it created an almost subculture of gamers who like this hyper difficult game style. Admittedly, I jumped in, right? I jumped into it. I like it. I do, that's a cool style and genre of game to me as well. I really like the From Software stuff, okay? But then what happened, I'd say over the last 3 years, is other game developers said, man, we got to cash in. And I'm so tired of that. Man, we really got to cash the fuck in. We got to copy what else is popular, right? So copy Battle Royale, copy team-based cooperative looter shooters, or, in this case, copy the Dark Souls formula, the hyper-difficult games, it's you against the odds, and it's fun to do different runs and challenge runs and speed runs. People like to watch that content on YouTube and Twitch. And listen, if you're part of that community, good for you, and I hope you enjoy it, really. I'm all for it if you like that kind of content. I like it to some extent, but I don't like playing it all the time. I just don't. You know what I mean? Like, maybe once a year, I'd like to play a game like that, but, I just don't want to keep playing it. And the thing is, there was a time when I was, if you remember, I'd say like 2-3 years ago, I was doing several different runs, whether it was replaying Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Bloodborne. I did, secondary and in some cases even third runs through these games. And you guys collectively came out and told me enough is enough. That's too much kind of Souls content, and do other stuff. So I have. If you look in the last, I would say since Sekiro, really, I made an effort to not play Dark Souls games, despite the fact that I know for a fact, all right, I know for a fact that there is definitely an audience for it. There's people who come to my streams just when I play those games to see me fail. That is not in line with the kind of content that I like to put out these days. If there's a new From Software game or Neo or something like that, and it's a mainstream game and it's a big publisher and it's hyped up and everyone's excited for it, that's different. But I just have zero desire to go play a similar kind of game. People just want to sit here and see me suffer. I don't want to suffer on a fucking stream. I want to enjoy games. And that's the audience that I've built, is people with a more chill, relaxed atmosphere, enjoying games, having fun interactions, not me just constantly raging at a fucking game, okay? In fact, it's kind of funny. I saw more than a couple people looking at this game, Mortal Shell, and saying that it's like Lords of the Fallen, right? Oh, this is kind of like Lords of the Fallen. Guess what? Then I'm definitely not fucking playing it. You remember how bad Lords of the fucking Fallen was at launch? There's zero chance I play Mortal Shell. So I have no desire whatsoever to play Mortal Shell. As I said, everyone will be talking about this game for a week because it's the only real game that's out right now that came out recently that's of any note, okay? And then you'll never hear of it again. Like I said, just like all these other games, last year, Remnant from the Ashes and shit. Who the fuck talks about that game now? No one. Everyone just played it because there was nothing else out. And then everyone dropped it and stopped talking about it. These are the kind of games that they're filler content during a time when there's no other From Software official games, and people buy them and play them on their streams and on their YouTube videos because it's that style of game. I don't care. I have zero desire to play that game, okay? And you might say, well, that's a bad attitude to have. Well, maybe it is, but I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm in the middle of a ton of different playthroughs right now, right? You got Paper Mario, you got Fire Emblem, you got my Nier Automata alternate runs to see the full plot finally. We're really enjoying the Fall Guys silly stuff that I've been doing. We got my weekly Street Fighter session, and I'm going to be doing something new this week. Could it be Mortal Shell? I mean, could I play that? Yeah. And guess what? I probably wouldn't even enjoy it. I'm being honest, I have zero desire to do that. Zero. For a game that I'm going to play and then no one will even remember it in a week, So, yeah. No, I'm not playing Mortal Shell. I have zero desire to play that. Okay? So, the only thing going on in gaming news is that supposedly there will be a new Batman game announced over the weekend. Okay? That's like the one major piece of gaming hype right now going on. I read an interesting article about the development of Halo Infinite, and people are hypothesizing why it got delayed and why it looks so bad and everything. It was pretty interesting. Of course, a lot of it is guessing, but from what I'm going to understand during this development of Halo Infinite, which, by the way, they started development calling the game Halo 6, but during the course of development, they realized they really needed to diversify themselves from Halo 4 and 5, which people basically panned. It's hilarious because it's one of those situations, it's kind of like a Last of Us 2 situation. The gaming media kind of kissed those games' butts and said that they were good, but the gamers themselves who played them reviewed them poorly and said these games are not anywhere near as good as other Halo games. Yet, if you look at mainstream reviews or whatever, it would seem like they're saying that those games are really good. When I played both of them, and I did not like either of them. I thought they were very inferior. And me, I'm a big fan of Halo 3. When Halo 3 came out for Xbox 360, I played the shit out of it. I beat the campaign. I played the hell out of the multiplayer for like 2 straight months. It was the only game I was playing back then. I just didn't really like Halo 4 or 5. I thought they were inferior. I thought it really felt like fanboys made the game. Like these are fans of the original Halo and they know how it's supposed to feel, but then they said, oh, well, what if we did this fan service? What if we did this? And it just doesn't feel like Halo to me. It just doesn't feel good at all. It just feels like cheap knockoffs. And so when they were making Halo 6, they decided don't call it Halo 6 because we want people to forget about those bad tastes in their mouths that we left there with Halo 4 and 5. And during the course of the game, they heavily debated splitting the game up into 2 separate entities. One would be this epic story-based campaign, and one would be the multiplayer. Like, they actually concretely thought, let's do a Call of Duty, and let's split our dev teams up that you'll have, we'll even maybe release them at different times. Maybe we'll have a campaign that comes out at one point and a multiplayer that comes out on another time. But apparently the development of this game's been incredibly disjointed. Not once, but twice during the development of Halo Infinite, the person who was the lead on the project quit the company and left and went to do something else. That's pretty bad. In addition to that, sadly, the marketing team for this game doesn't seem to be on the same page as the actual game developers, because the reports are that the engineering team have multiple times told the people in charge, we need more time to work on this. It's not good. It's not ready. But then you got like the marketing team coming out. If you remember a few weeks ago, oh, the multiplayer of Halo will be free to play and will run at 120 frames per second. It's like, now wait a minute. If the game's not even nearly done, if the game's unfinished and it's fucked up, the footage they show at this Microsoft event doesn't look good. Why would you have a marketing team coming out and making statements like that, right? You tell your marketing team, shut up. Don't come out and say stuff like that until we're ready. And it's obvious they weren't ready, because then right after they announced that, then they delayed the game. Like, what? So that's pretty funny. And it is what it is. It sucks that Halo Infinite got delayed, because it was supposed to be the big system seller for Xbox Series X. And if anything, one of the weirdest things that I've been seeing on social media is basically Microsoft's response. Like, I think Microsoft really has nothing to say. They know that not having Halo Infinite as a launch game for Xbox Series X pretty much tanks the console launch. And Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, actually came out in the public, and he says, "Oh, it's not about how many consoles we sell." I was like, "What? What? Wait, you're a game developer. You're a console developer. Your sole job is to sell your product." And he comes out and says it's not about selling the product. What the fuck are you talking about? And when I heard Phil Spencer say that, you know what that means to me? He gave up. He knows there's zero chance that the Xbox Series X is going to be able to compete with the sales of the PS5 at this point. The momentum of PS5 is ginormous. All the spin Microsoft tried to put on the Xbox Series X over the last year. Oh, it's the more powerful next-gen console, and you're going to have Game Pass to play all your games and all that shit. It's not working. And he basically said, well, I guess, I guess that's that. We give up. That's just crazy, right? That's just crazy. That the head of the studio says it doesn't matter about selling our console. What the fuck does it matter then? What does anything matter? Why do you work for them? Right? The leader of the company says we don't need to sell our product. Well, what do you do then, actually? Like, do you just sit on social media tweeting? Like, what's your job? I don't know, man. It's like, it doesn't matter how many Game Pass subscriptions you sell if people don't have the console to play Game Pass on. Like, the stage 1, sell the console. Stage 2, provide content for the console. It's not provide a service by which you pay a small price to get a bunch of games, but the games aren't coming out, nor are they good at what is coming out, so no one wants your console. Like, what? How the fuck? I don't know, man. And by the way, don't think that I'm trying to shit talk the Xbox Series X, because I'm not. I'm just, once again, here we are, we're at the precipice of another console generation launch, and I am baffled by Xbox and Microsoft's take at this. Just like last console gen, with fucking Don Matrick being an elitist douchebag prick, saying, oh, who cares if you don't have an internet connection? Then go play the Xbox 360. You can't trade games. No, you shouldn't have to. Oh, you need to connect. He was so off base from anything that gamers resonated with. He was such a tremendous douchebag that I really feel his leadership tanked the launch of the Xbox One and held back that console for like 2 years. Because remember, they had to unbundle it from the Kinect and start selling it by itself. They had to basically implement so many things. They had to make the optical port work, which was fucking hilarious. The thing came with an optical port that only did stereo sound. It's just like so baffling how bad that launch was. Now here we are, how many years later? 6+ years later, and it's definitely a different approach to a console launch, but it's such a lax and casual approach at this point that I'm just kind of like, I'm baffled again. It's like, how are they really going to blow it again? Because all I can say is, outside of that game Medium, which Medium looks really good to me. Like, I'm intrigued by Medium. It looks like a cool horror-style game that is going to be very interesting and unique and fun and different. And yes, that will be a reason to have an Xbox Series X. But supposedly it's also on Xbox One. That's what I mean. This whole all our games are going to be cross-platform, so you don't need the Xbox Series X at launch. You can play them on Xbox One. Okay, so then I won't buy it. Like, okay, I'm not buying your console then. Like, I'm so bad. I don't get it, man. I just don't get it. If anyone can try to explain this strategy to me, please do. And I understand. Game Pass. Great. Okay, Game Pass. Who cares if you get 1 million people to sign up for Game Pass, but then no one buys your console? Right? Like, they are missing out huge here. They are doubling and tripling and quadrupling down on Game Pass, but there's, like, no reason to have an Xbox Series X. I'm so lost. The way I see it is, give it a year or two. When you start getting the major games like the Forza, that Forza game, who knows how far off in development it is. When the Forza game comes out, when Halo Infinite finally comes out, when the actual big games that you want to play on the Xbox Series X come out, then they might start selling consoles. And by the way, absolutely everyone's going to get Game Pass. No one's going to keep buying games at $60 a pop when you can play, what is it, $20 a month and get all of them for free. I say for free, of course it's not, it's just no additional charge, right? So it's a no-brainer. If you're just think about it this way, if you're going to buy 3 to 4 games a year for the Xbox Series X, if you're going to play 4 games a year, for that price, you can just get all the games you want unlimited for $20 a month, right? Just split that cost up. Instead of 4 $60 transactions, it's a $20 transaction over the course of a year, right? So, for me, I just don't get this. I just don't understand it. Maybe I'm off base. All right, but I don't know. Right now, if I can only get one console, later this year, it's 1,000,000% at this point going to be the PS5. If you're telling me I don't need the Series X because all the games like Medium will be on regular Xbox One anyway, then why am I going to get a Series X, right? I don't get it. Okay. Anyway, that's just my take right now. I was blown away by the story about Halo Infinite's development crisis, and frickin' Phil Spencer coming out, the head of Xbox comes out and says it's not important how many Xbox Series X's we sell. I was like, what the fuck did he just say? Holy shit, man, this guy is like nuts. I don't get it. Okay. No, the Soldier Boy console is not still an option. As appropriate, he got shut down legally because the whole thing was fucking illegal bootleg anyway. So, no Soldier Boy gaming. Okay. That's all I got to talk about today, so let's do shout-outs, guys. Okay? Let's do shout-outs for those who've contributed so far today. My laptop is completely screwed up. Great. Okay. So we start off with some contributions during my days off, including Razzleberry9, who subscribed to the channel. Let's see here. I got an anonymous cheer here. Game Night TRG did a 100-bit cheer during my day off, and he said, I'm late to give my opinion on Halo being delayed because I'm learning Twitch, but I feel Microsoft should pay a lot of money to have Valhalla and Cyberpunk 2077 on the Xbox Series X or S version of Game Pass as compensation for Halo Infinite not being there on day one. Well, that's what I would do if I was the Xbox boss. That's interesting. He's saying basically take giant AAA releases that are coming out this year and put them under Game Pass. But that ain't going to happen. Remember, they only have the ability basically to do Xbox studio developed games or like older games they can do agreements with. But new AAA releases, do you really think that CD Projekt Red wants to take a giant income hit on anyone who buys the game on an Xbox console just because Xbox fucked up? Of course not. That ain't gonna happen. Golden Coles did a couple cheers overnight. He says, they wouldn't let me into a club wearing my DSP brand shirt. Well, I'm very, very sad to hear that. Then he also cheers, said, swallow a raw egg yolk before you drink your Pepsi. Well, since you said Pepsi, that must have something to do with wings, so I'm just going to ignore that. And then he did one more cheer. Thank you for the cheers this morning, Golden Colts. All right, so now we get to people who contributed during the live stream. We start off with VG Stuffed, who subscribed for 8 months in a row. And he says, the only iced coffee gifted me a house full of random people. And he says, man, sorry I couldn't help earlier, but I found a house with people in it, and I figured they could be forced into subbing. Well, all right then. Okay, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but thank you for an 8-month resub, VG Stuffed. I really appreciate that. Lies of Her Soul did a 50-bit cheer. He says, thank you for making me VIP behind the scenes. I know a lot of viewers have petitioned for this position. I will not let you down. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about either, Lies of Her Soul, but you are the first cheerer of the day, so let's get you up on the leaderboard. I don't even know what VIP is. People keep talking about this. I don't even know what that is. Okay. Then he cheered again. He said, we ever bring back big fat titties on the Sword song? I would like to remember that mistake from time to time. I like how he worded that. I want to remember that mistake from time to time. No. As I said, there's reasons why there's certain music that I either don't play on my pre-stream or I phased out of playing on my pre-stream. And in that case, as you guys know, I have tried to change the style of commentary and content that I put out there on my gameplay streams. And even though we still do have some silly things like the Sonic song with the bestiality fucking quote and stuff like that, one of the things I've tried to do is basically desexualize the content. I don't want to talk about that kind of stuff anymore. I'm 38 years old, you know, and even though I understand that a lot of my audience is a lot younger and less mature than me, I don't want to put out that kind of crap anymore on the internet. Every once in a while, we'll do a silly reference or whatever, and that's different than having it be a constant piece of my content. And so that song didn't seem to resonate or make sense with the kind of content I put out anymore, and that's why we don't play it anymore, you know? It's that simple, okay? And from time to time, I look back and I reevaluate things. Maybe at one point, I will reevaluate some of the other songs and say that they're not appropriate either. But for now, that's the reason why that one was removed, and I have no desire to re-add it. But thank you for the cheer. Adam Outlaw is research for 3 months, is doing my part for the king. Thank you, Adam Outlaw. Thank you very much for the support. Stable Genius 123 resub for 15 months in a row. Thank you very much, Stable Genius, for over a year of support. Ludaba is the first tipper of the day with a $3 tip. They said, "What's up, Phil? Sorry Monday night was rough, but here's to a new gaming week. Since you used to be a comic book nerd, what Marvel hero or villain would you like to introduce into the MCU?" First of all, Monday night was not rough. Monday night was annoying because I was trying to have a genuine conversation with people who actually care about me and my content. And what ended up happening was it got derailed by a bunch of nitpicking shitheads who literally are so immature, they don't understand that the world is not black and white, you know? That's the problem. Is I'm trying to speak to my audience of mature people who actually want to have like a meaningful conversation, and you get these dumb fuck idiots with really just primitive mindsets, completely simpletons, and they come in here and they try to derail shit. And you know, admittedly, they did derail it for a little bit because I was trying to intelligently respond to just nonsense. But it went fine. We didn't get as far in Fire Emblem as I would like to, but it was still a good stream to me. I hope you guys liked it too. So what hero or villain would I like to introduce into the MCU? Man. Interesting question. Well, you know, when I was growing up, reading comic books is what I meant to say. I mostly read X-Men. Although, admittedly, sometimes I would read other stuff. It was mostly X-Men. I didn't really read Avengers or any of that stuff, like Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk. Never. I never read that shit. It was always X-Men and Spider-Man. I did get into Spider-Man during the Maximum Carnage saga, which I actually really enjoyed that major crossover. I learned about a lot of different characters in the MCU during that. Well, MCU, not the MCU, the Marvel Universe at that time, comic book universe, through the Maximum Carnage saga. So for me, I was always about the X-Men. Now the thing is, there already is an established X-Men universe, but it's not in the MCU. I would like to see the X-Men formally be introduced to the MCU. Now, I don't know if that means that we'll have a crossover between the existing X-Men franchise or the MCU, or if we start over and have new X-Men, but that's kind of what I would like to see. Okay? Thank you for the tip, Ludaba. First tip of the day. Eternal Napalm did a 50-bit cheers. Says, try Wendy's barbecue spicy chicken sandwich is loaded and kicks hard. You know, that sounds like a pretty good suggestion. I think right now that and the tiny tacos, Jack in the Box, are the two top suggestions. So, again, guys, if you have any suggestions for the DSP tries it for Saturday's Vest celebration, please send them my way. But those would be my two top right now. Blanca Balls just tipped me $2 and says, the fourth day of being sober from the 10-year hash streak, going strong and no cravings. The dreams are fucking intense, though. Ghost of Tea last stream was epic. I agree. The conclusion of the story of Ghost of Tsushima was outstanding. Sucker Punch did such a good job with that game. I'm so happy to have played it. And quite frankly, we needed a great game like that after Last of Us 2. And boy, did it wash the bad taste out of my mouth anyway. I don't know about you guys. Lives of Her Soul cheers. Is a private Christian school near my town here in Central California is under fire for apparently parents forcing the principal to provide an in-person education with no masks and no social distancing like nothing has happened. That sounds delightful. No, it doesn't. It sounds stupid. Thank you for the cheer. Rob on Wheels has to me $5, and that's actually the top tip of the day. Let's get him on the leaderboard here. There we go. He asked the following. Did you only play one episode of Telltale's Batman Season 2? Hold on. And I can only find episode 1. Watching the season on a different channel, but I missed your commentary. I definitely played it. I can tell you 100%. I remember the whole plot line. I don't want to spoil it because you're watching it on someone else's channel. I remember the entire plot line of Batman Season 2. But it sounds to me like for some weird reason, it's not visible on my channel anymore. It could be, okay, if you cannot find it, it could be one of many reasons. The first reason could be it got falsely claimed by somebody else when it comes to like a content creator. That happens all the time. Their content match garbage system where a video will be claimed by somebody else and sometimes it gets blocked. It could be that there was licensed music in it, and over time, all right, basically, sadly, it got claimed by one of these automated systems, right? And it screwed it up. And therefore, because it got claimed, now it doesn't show up in certain territories. That's happened to me where it's like, your video got claimed by a music group and now it's not visible in like these countries. That's fucking stupid, right? Who knows? I mean, the thing is, I have so many videos out that 9 times out of 10 when a video gets claimed, I don't even see it. It just goes to like a fucking spam filter. Because every single day, no lie, I probably get dozens or more videos claimed against DSPGaming and my other gaming channels. And they're supposed to send you notices every time it happens. But I have so many 40, 50, 60,000 videos on the internet that it's just not trackable. You know what I mean? Like, I get the feeling they don't even fucking send the emails anymore. So I have no idea. Hobo Exodus, yeah. I don't see either. Only one episode shows up. All 4 other episodes of that game do not show up. Ha! How much do you want to bet, and no exaggeration, how much do you want to bet they got claimed into oblivion, and because of that, you know, that you just can't find them anymore? Because I know I played it. I remember, like I said, I remember the entire plot line. The Joker is a huge character in that one. The Joker plays a giant role in that season. And also Catwoman's in it. Like, I specifically remembered all the happenings of season 2. I remember the whole game. So I know I played it, but I guarantee you that it's fucked up because of that. Okay? Okay. So I'm sorry, Rob. It sounds like you have to watch it somewhere else if you can't find it. I don't know what happened. It sounds like YouTube fucked up. I mean, unless you want to go on my channel and literally, like, manually go back to the year that the game came out, which I don't remember. It was probably 2-3 years ago, right? It was before Telltale went out of business, so it's probably 3+ years ago. You'd have to go all the way back then and just click on my upload history. Maybe you could find the individual videos there. I don't know. Or maybe they just literally blacklisted the videos. That could be too. Fallen 1570 is here and has resubscribed for 35 months. Thank you, Fallen, for the support. That is much, much appreciated. Almost 3 years of support from Fallen. Thank you so much for that. I have no idea what this thing is people are spamming in the stream chat. What is that? What the fuck is that? I have no idea. Anyway, it's not offensive, so I guess I won't complain. Strength in Wales tipped me $1 and said, if everyone in the world was to lose their thumbs, but war, poverty, and hunger vanish from the world forever, do you think this would be a worthy trade? So no thumbs, but war, poverty, and hunger disappeared. I mean, I don't think that's possible. Humans need their thumbs to do any kind of meaningful work, really. Like, what jobs can you do without a thumb? Without having a prehensile appendage that you can grab things with? That's one of the major reasons why humans are able to do so much, right? I mean, anyway, I really don't think that your question's serious. So I won't fret too much about it. Tarantula MS 2018 has subscribed to the channel for 29 months. Thank you very much for 29 months of support. I appreciate that. Grief of Geef took me $1.30 and says, if you would need to go get tournament ready for Super Turbo, how much time do you think you need to prepare and who would you main? See, I don't even know because I don't know how I would prepare. Online play of Super Turbo does not equate to realistic in-person competition gameplay of Super Turbo. Like, I could probably play on, what do they call it? Fucking Fightcade or whatever. But there's so many fucking cheaters. There's so many people who use macros and abuse the fucking netcode and shit to get away with shit that is not viable in the real competitive in-person version of that game. That I don't even know. You might actually learn more bad habits playing on Fightcade than good habits. I don't even know where I would go to play. Who would I play in Super Turbo? Like, sadly, the people I used to play with don't play anymore. They all kind of retired, you know. There really is no competitive circuit for Super Turbo. It's not like Street Fighter V, where I can just go out and immediately, you know, play tournaments and stuff. It basically, Super Turbo is kind of like always a side event that they throw at other major tournaments if they're going to do it. So I can't even answer your question. I would have zero idea where to start trying to get valid practice in for Super Turbo. Who would I main? I wouldn't want to main just one person. I would just go back to my trifecta, which is Balrog, Vega, and DJ. And basically you alternate between those characters depending on the situation. Because between the three of them, you could pretty much beat everybody in the game. Alright? That's what I would say. So, Tarantula MS 2018 has now tipped me $5. Thank you very much, Tarantula, for a $5 tip. Let's update the tips total here. Thank you. He says, I've been watching through the Batman movies. I was curious to see who your favorite actor is to portray Batman, as well as an actor to portray Joker. For me, it's the original blockbusters. So, Michael Keaton Batman from Batman and Batman Returns, and of course the Jack Nicholson Joker. Now, admittedly, the Jack Nicholson Joker is not the comic book Joker. He's just a crazy good character, though. Like, it's so he basically is like, let's turn an actual mafioso style character into a criminal who's nuts, right? I mean, not to say he wasn't already a criminal, but they turned him into just a crazy character. I liked that. And Jack Nicholson brought his charisma, but then seeing him act like zany and crazy, like, that was a really good character. And not to say that there haven't been other good film adaptations of the Joker. Let's face it, everyone loves the Heath Ledger version. Even I like the Heath Ledger character. I just don't feel like that's Joker. I think it's someone else. You know what I mean? But still, it's a great character portrayal. But I go for the classics, man. The ones that I watched in theaters back in the day. That's the ones that I like. So, Gerard Croce here. I think the reality is, while huge blockbuster games do drive console sales, the bulk of sales come from people just buying the same console they always play on, and people buying the one all their friends are getting. Consoles don't need a system-selling game for most people. You know, the thing is, you're right. I do agree with Gerard Crowe, and that's a rarity. But I do agree with Gerard Crowe here, and here's why. Console launches are never good. Can you even tell me the last time there was an amazing console launch that had, like, a huge, amazing slew of games? I mean, even going back to Xbox 360, I mean, it wasn't great. It had Call of Duty, which was a really good game, but outside of that, the rest of them were just kind of meh, and those were games that were written off that people don't even talk about, like Cameo and fucking Perfect Dark and shit, you know? Really, it was the 90s when consoles had much better launches, you know? Super NES had Super Mario World, among a few other really big 16-bit titles. The Nintendo 64 had Mario 64. The PlayStation, I remember, had a few really big hits. I can't remember. They're burning me out in my head right now. I can't remember. But I remember the 90s was basically the last time I could think of that. Oh, my God. Consoles coming out, and there's these must-play games for the console at launch. Admittedly, I've seen a ton of people on the internet that say they're going to get the Xbox Series X no matter what. Like, but what are you getting it for? Oh, well, it's the most powerful console. Like, it's great, but what are you going to play on it? And then there's, like, no answer. So, you're right. I think some people just buy into hype, but you're right also. If a group of your friends are getting that console, and you're looking towards the future and saying, well, I want to play with my friends in games, you're going to get the console your friends are getting too, right? So you're right in that regard, I feel. I do believe you're correct. Eternal Napalm did a 150-bit cheer to become the top cheerer of the day. Thank you, Eternal Napalm. Let's get that up on the leaderboard. Lies vs. Soul did a 50-bit cheer. And then he did that weird thing. People were saying I think they were trying to build a ladder. So I think what it is, it's like a ladder rung or something, and they're each person posts it once, so it looks like a ladder is building up in stream chat or something. And then Lies vs. Soul cheered again. He said, cannot mention great Batman movies without Ben Affleck's Batman. I'll just leave that where it is. Okay. Shout out to the top cheers of the week. Keep in mind the week is very young, but we have a oh my god, a quintuple tie. No way, I misread that. We have a tie for 9th place between Mr. Papavera and Fergo. We have a triple tie for 6th place between OFB Terminator, Chili Pimp, and Lies vs. Soul. 5th place is Timbo Slice GB. 4th place is RPG Fan 32. 3rd place is Eternal Napalm. 2nd place, Sweaty Man JPEG. And in 1st place, Only Iced Coffee. Thank you for the cheers this week. Also, thank you guys who have gifted subscriptions this week. We've got Selpris, Honest Fan, Jose Martinez, 323, and Ultima Cloud, who each gifted 1 sub. And Only Iced Coffee so far this week has gifted 5 subscriptions. That's all I got, guys. Let's take a break. I got to use the restroom. Let's take a short break. When I come back, Nier Automata B-Run continues, and it's going to be really your feedback if you guys want to see me keep trying to focus in on certain side content, or if you think that I should jump back into the main story progression. I'll leave it to you to determine that. And we'll go from there. We should have a nice, chill, fun return stream. All right? I'll be back soon, guys. Thanks. I'll see you in a bit.